Good morning, all. Ira Epstein, and what a morning it is. And here we are on Thursday, the 3rd of April, 2025, about 8:15 a.m. And boy, you wake up and it is a changed world. The stock market down and down very hard. Now, this is a little bit of a bounce, about 80 points in the Dow, but still down 1,200 points, over 200 lower in the S&P, 800 lower in the NASDAQ, and the Russell down another 100 points. Let's take a look at some news, then I would give you my little spiel as to what's going on. Challenger Group, they came out, and you're finally getting in here. If you want to put this on pause and read this, you can. But what they've done is now the government numbers are showing up from the Doge, and that's what's on. If you get to the bottom line, you'd see that ex-Doge, you probably have a pretty flat number, but with it, a huge number of planned unemployment. Jobless claims came down 6,000, but the unemployment climbed back over 1.9. So that's a bit of a problem for the market. The Fed will look at that. So that's going to be an important number for them. The February trade balance data came in at 122, a negative 122.6 billion. They expected 123. The prior was 131. So it is going in the right direction. Now, you're not going to see this impact, obviously, for a while with the tariffs that are just going on now. But you'll start seeing this in maybe the June numbers, that they'll start showing up in a pretty big way. S&P Global Group will release their March service sector PMI, and that's going to come in at 845. The ISM will release their March service sector index at 9 o'clock, and we'll be getting the EI natural gas numbers. But all this, well, does it really matter to the market? That's the question, and I don't think so. This is all about a reordering now of the world. And we haven't seen anything like this in almost 90 years or so. So understand how big this is. President Trump went bigger than the market had anticipated. If you were watching like I was, remember I had explained to traders that because of the time of the Rose Garden announcement, you were still open in the stock indices, the metals, the dollar, interest rates, and energies. You were closed in the livestock markets, the soft markets, and the meats. So you got a chance to see it. And as soon as they said 10% tariff, 10%, the market took off and went up. It recovered all the losses that it had for the day, went up 1%. And then when the other words started coming out, now let me tell you the formulas and what we've come out with and Howard Lutnick came out with that board, the market went from 1% up to 3% down. So we've been extending it. You were down about 1,000 points last night when I finally went to bed for 3-4 hours, and I have been up ever since, dealing with clients and people. What do they think? Just got off the phone with one of my friends in Canada. He's a large business that he has, and the question is, how do you pass on some of the problems that they're going to have? Because he's an importer from around the world of agriculture products. So different problems for different people. But this is the big change. And what it is, it's a point of negotiation, in my opinion. So what I think is the 10% tariffs, the word permanent doesn't work for me. They're on longer than the other tariffs, and they are taking calls. Howard Lutnick was on just 30 minutes ago. So I'm about 8:15. He was on at 7:30 to 7:45 on Bloomberg saying, yeah, the teams are taking the calls and countries are calling. But what's not going to work is they're going to say, well, we'll reduce our tariffs. And the Trump administration is looking at the whole package. The VAT, the currency manipulations that they do, and the tariffs. And they want something that's going to work in. So do I think you're going to walk in before April 9th when the last of the tariff rolls out, and that's going to change before then? Well, it could, but I don't expect it, but it could. President Trump might want to get the maximum pain he can into the market and then start the process of, how do I say this, his jubilation rally. And what do I mean by that? Each country will come and they will find ways to negotiate their additional tariffs down. What I think he'll do is he'll save the 10% number for the midterm elections. So if he has to do something, he can do it then. The monies that he'll collect with that 10% between now and then, he can use in his tax bill in some way. And nobody's talking about that, but this is going to bring in more. Now, the negative is we could go into a recession. You're going to see layoffs come into the market. You're going to see problems everywhere. This shook business. The stock market break. Where do you see the stock market open at 8:30 in the morning? Because things are going to plunge. And the question is how fast, how deep, and where does it bottom out? I personally think that come May, you will have a different look on these additional tariffs that come on. Now, last night, if you get my market letter, I had done an interview at 5:40 p.m. Central Time in Australia, and it was on TV, and we were able to give it to you and show you that. Gold was on 32, where was it? No, 31.74 and 71, right in that area. And I said, you're only up $4 in gold, and all this happening is probably a spot where you have to start taking something off the table. And said that. I'm happy as can be. Dollar. You could probably go down in the dollar to 99. I think you can go maybe to the 113 area in the euro. I'm just giving guesses as to what I think is going to happen here. You're sitting right now on interest rates at 4.03 in the 10-year. You heard me, 4.03. Will we crack the 4% number? Remember, the Trump administration's looking at the 10-year note, and they want that down. Look at how energies are getting hit. We talked about energies in this rally in front of tariffs, and I kept saying the only thing I think keeping it was going, and I haven't changed my opinion, was Venezuelan oil potentially off the market, Russian oil maybe off the market, and Iranian oil. But now OPEC is coming out and saying that they're going ahead with their additional oil onto the market, and they're going to do this probably April, May, and so on. But some of the countries that have overproduced have decided that they're going to take huge cuts this coming period so that they get it over with and done. That's going to be interesting because that helps them make up that they were overproducing. But you are seeing, you're down, for example, gasoline, you're down 18 cents. The president's smiling away. Heating oil down 16 cents. Look at the prices here. Natural gas doesn't get impacted by this. Natural gas is a different vehicle altogether. Bitcoin cracking the 82,000 mark, down right now $5,300. So let this all happen. I kept saying, I think that you got to be careful. I didn't have my clients, and I'm proud to say it, in futures markets in positions. I said, you won't be able to protect yourself. I said it here to you. I said over and over, you think that bullet train coming down the road and you're standing on the track and you're quick enough to just in the nick of time jump out of the way? These markets at nighttime especially get thinner. Then we had the yin-yang impact. The currency market opened steady. And it was hanging there, and I'm going, okay. I went to bed, and there wasn't much movement. And woke up 4 hours later, and dollar down 200 points. I mean, this is big moves. Up 268 points in the euro. These are monster moves, okay? And you don't see that often. I don't think we've seen anything like that in the euro in a decade. So I think 2015 was the last time. So sit back, watch the show, and get your money ready to come back into the market is my idea on it. So those are the things that I'd be looking at. And again, we're going to cover this all day long with our newsletter. So if you haven't gotten our newsletters, you should. And let me see if I can get this up for you right here. There we go. And all you do is go to iraepstein.com, free offers. You can sign up there and you will see what we're saying for all the markets today. It's going to be very important. I wrote last night quite a bit on it, included my interview, as I said, and I'm really proud of the things I said. I stuck my neck out and things looked to me like I called it, well, remember, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So I got lucky. And now I'm looking to come into the market. I want to get aggressive now. So I will talk to you all at the end of the day. Let's see what the market holds right now. You have a great trading day.